Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Ellen.
I'm Georgette.
And you're watching Word of Mouth.
Good old glory days always seem to say goodbye, and they become the past tense which we apply to our lives. The good old days are only good while you're there, but when they're done, they're not as fun, even though you still do care. Man, I miss the high school dance woes, bathroom peep shows, watching us grow. I saw Glory Days. It's a new musical about four high school kids that recently graduated, gone off to college, and now they've come back. It must be summer break, and they're meeting on the football field and discovering how their lives have changed over the past year.
So there's a main character, Will, and he's like really enthusiastic. And he invites back his like three best guy friends to come back and like relive all this stuff. And they're gonna play some pranks on the football players by setting the sprinklers off during a charity event to like really get them good. And so they all come back and hang out on the bleachers.
And then one friend has a secret. He divulges that he is gay. And one friend is fine with it. The other friend is, he doesn't seem to have anything to say one way or the other. And the one friend is very angry. He's pissed because he feels like he's been lied to. He took it very personal. You know, which kind of like, that's when the play starts getting crazy.
The cast was, I would say, mediocre, lukewarm.
The one guy, Andy, was so much like Stifler that it was like watching Stifler in a musical. Andrew Call, who played Andy, he was the only one who was like really energetic and like not an annoying, I mean he was in an annoying way, but he's supposed to be annoying the whole time. The only time I didn't like him was when he was like singing about having feelings, because then you're like, I don't really want you to have feelings.
My favorite character was Skip, played by Adam Halpin. And he had this great song somewhere around the middle of the musical called Generation Apathy. He was the most sympathetic and the most open and real character I felt. He also seemed the most natural on stage, like he wasn't forcing the acting or forcing the vocals.
Jesse J.P. Johnson had a phenomenal voice. In fact, when he sang alone, he sang from his heart. The songs that he did get to sing were nice and touching. I can't remember the words or anything, but at the time, everything, you know, it kind of went, but that was it. The other ones, I mean, they didn't have bad voices, but it's just that the music was sort of like yelling. It wasn't singing.
The songs all sounded the same. The guys' voices were actually pretty good. I was like kind of placing them, like, oh, you should play so-and-so in that play, and you should play so-and-so in this one, you know? So it's like they have like vocal talent. They're talented guys. But the actual, like, the lyrics were uninspirational. They tried so hard. There's this whole song about like hooking up with girls, and like we got the girls by their balls. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, you know?
None of it was memorable. Like, it's nothing had a tune. Like, every time I thought something was gonna be something I could just, it would repeat, or you could get something you could click onto, it just didn't do anything.
The set is so very simple. It's one set of bleachers, 8 rows, and most of the musical, the 4 actors are running up and down the bleachers, you know, giving each other the old fake punches and teasing each other.
And they just like run bleachers. They run the bleachers up and down, and like they sing from the top of the bleachers when they're like, rah. And then they come down and they're having a quiet moment at the bottom of the bleachers.
It's just a little all over the place. I mean, it's the 4 guys, it's just the one set. You don't see the musicians. They're behind a bunch of lighting. You know they're back there. I mean, that's it. You know, it's just the grandstand, a bunch of beer cans, and a notebook.
It was sort of boring, inconsequential, cliche. The music was tepid at best.
The story had potential. Like it wanted to go somewhere, but it just never did. And there was a chance for a pivotal point in the play when the character Jack sort of announced to his group of friends that he was gay, and that, you know, his life had changed when he moved off to college and he realized this. But then they just didn't really go anywhere with it. They didn't really
bring home any like serious message that anybody could take home with them and think, oh great, we should all learn from this. There was nothing like that. It was just sort of empty.
You never believed they were actually friends with each other. They didn't know each other. They were lying to each other the whole time about who they are. Like, you never felt like they actually really knew each other. And it seemed like my first year of college, I kept in touch with people, like email. If they're like generation whatever, they should be emailing each other. And they should have had a month-long Christmas break. What were they doing at that point, And like, how did they not, I don't know.
Maybe if somebody else were a seasoned person on Broadway were to take that apart and put it back together, they could make it something else, but I don't know. I mean, I don't even like to critique things like that because I don't feel that I'm qualified to say the director was at fault or the writer was at fault. I don't know what it is. I just know what I feel when I go into a show.
I would not probably tell my friends to go to the show. There's a lot of great shows on Broadway right now, and for the money, I wouldn't go to this one again.
I really feel like I lost an hour and a half of my life. The only thing positive about this show was that there was no intermission, so you just went straight right through it and you were done.
And it's not that I hated it, it's just that it's not something that I would say, oh, you got to go out and get tickets to see this. Like, I would say, it wasn't one of my favorites.
'Cause this is